Hey guys, so in this video I'll be teaching you how to draw your trend line and what time frame is best to draw your trend line. Now what is a trend line? A trend line is a simple trading tool that helps you get the direction at which the market price is trending towards. And to draw a trend line you only need two touches of the candlesticks to get a trend, and to confirm that trend line you need the third touch. Do you get? Now what do I mean by this? I mean, let me draw the trend line of this and I'll explain. Now this trend line I drew here, right, we can see that this was the first touch, this is the second touch, right? Now this is a trend. Now to confirm this trend line, right, we need a third touch, right? Now this is a very clear example of drawing a trend line. I would look for other examples. Yeah, and also this is we can also say this is a trend line. Now in this case we haven't got the third bounce or the third touch of the trend line yet, so cate- we can't categorically say that this trend line is confirmed or is valid. Now okay, let me go to another chart and show you guys an example of drawing a trend line. And yeah, you would always want to draw your trend line on the weekly time frame, because the weekly time frame gives you like the overall direction at which price has been trending in for maybe like 2 years, 3 years, sometimes 3 years, 2 years and all. Because you don't want to be caught trading in the opposite direction of the trend. Now in this case we can see the first touch here, right? The second touch somewhere here, right? And the third touch here. We can also draw a trend line from the moment price started to shift away from the trend. Now, what do I mean by this? We can see that we had the first bounce here, second bounce here, the third bounce here, and price started shifting away from the trend. Price never came back to bounce on this trend line, right? So we can also draw a trend line from here to exactly, exactly. So first bounce of this new trend line, second bounce, and the third bounce, which confirms the trend. Now let's go to another chart. Let's go to another chart. Let's draw trend line for Euro USD. Yeah, let's draw the trend line for Euro USD. Sorry, Euro JPY rather. We can see this, right? And we can also see this. Now you can you can always draw as much trend lines as you want, but personally I advise maybe maximum of two trend lines. To be honest, maximum of two trend lines. And one thing you know for sure is if price breaks the inner trend line, most of the time it comes to test the outer trend line. This is the inner trend line here. It comes to test the outer trend line. Yeah. That's that on trend lines.